What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 15 of the HXC Blizzard podcast. I almost said Warcraft. I'm here with basically everyone. The entire crew is here. What's going on, Dom? How's it going?
How's it going?
Not
I'm
much.
tired.
I'm very tired.
Exhausted. And I got a 24-hour stream starting Monday.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Monday
ain't that
at
gonna be
midnight.
a wrecking ball?
Oh, it would be a what?
It would be a wrecking ball.
Ugh. It's awful. Stop, Squishy. Please stop.
Okay, then. I'll stop.
What's going
I have
on,
stuff
Squishy?
behind me now. It's a miracle. I actually own things, not just a white room.
You do. I feel like you're actually in a house now. Like before, you were just like I don't even know where. It's
I
weird
was
that people
building
don't
my
have things
house.
almost.
You only saw the one room I was building.
Ah,
That was actually done. So it's actually finished now. I moved in.
nice. So you had a good week. How was Legendary?
Very angry. I felt some anger coming out of Mike Shaffnid. It's very, very angry.
That's cool. It seemed fun though. I watched most of it till my internet crapped out on me, and then couldn't see the last 20
Your internet
minutes of the
crapped
show.
out? No way, dude.
Yeah, it's weird.
That
You
never
were having
happens to
internet
you.
issues?
Yeah, it's weird. It's better than audio issues, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Speaking of audio, how's it going, Indy?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up with you? What's new?
That
I'm
segue.
Yeah, I don't know how that. I'm tired too, so I won't even try to figure it out.
Oh man,
I've been
this is-
pretty busy, but I'm looking forward into getting into flex rating with you guys this week.
nice. Oh, we'll be talking about that. We will be talking
Yeah.
about
Oh, we will.
this low energy podcast, guys. Like, how's it going?
We're all tired after 5.4, man.
Oh, man.
Though, you want excited about Zista? Dexter's tonight.
Yes, it is.
Second episode to the finale. I'm excited. Super excited, as you
I'm
can
excited
clearly
for
tell.
it to be over.
Yeah, I'm kind of ready for it to be over at this point, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I'm
It
ready.
had a good run.
I'm excited because
been going
it's day
downhill
one of the
since,
hockey
but yeah.
season.
Oh, I'll clarify. I've never watched it once, but I'm still excited for it to be over.
Season 1 was still my favorite.
Oh, also, R.I.P. Don.
R.I.P. Don.
No, that was a good day.
But when Whodunit end?
Yes. Anyways,
I'll still never forget. That came right off of our 48-hour stream. We finished the podcast, and then I watched Whodunit immediately following that. And then I go upstairs to actually go to bed, and Sophus is laying in bed watching another stream. Still, he's not sleeping either. He's watching a stream. And I was like, I didn't really care for the ending of Whodunit. And he's like, oh? And like he's asking questions like he actually cared about it. And I knew he didn't.
I think
knew he
it's-
didn't care at all. He
I think it was just
being
motor
polite.
motor skills reacting to like at that point. After 48 hours of being up, someone could have been like, I don't really like the color pink, and I'd been like, oh, that's cool. Why not? Oh man, we should. Speaking of the color pink, let's talk about Dire Mall.
That segue.
You went from,
Keep it
like, the
up.
best segue in the world to, like, the worst.
Keep it up.
I
you
like
also
to
the next
keep the
episode on the
segues
segue?
everywhere. Segue. Speaking of segues, Dire Mall.
Can you write a segue into the next podcast?
I will, yeah. This is
Oh,
how
God.
subtle my segues are.
You guys make sure to bring your segues to BlizzCon.
That'd be epic. I don't think I could do that. Too many people. Oh, God. All right, so this is the third week in a row we're talking about Dire Mall. Are you guys done? Are you ready to be done and out of Dire Mall already?
I did
Yeah.
not. I was not even looking forward to doing Dire Mall today until we talked about it briefly before the
that's true.
pre-show, and I am probably more excited about this one segment of our lore section than anyone yet.
It's all because of the flavor. The flavor text
Yeah.
here is so good.
Yes.
Oh man! All right, so we're not going to talk about like what, because really we could talk a little bit about the overall thing, but we've basically already said it. It's an old elvish city, and it's just been taken over by different factions, and they're fighting over control over it. This whole Dire Maul, this one we're talking about is the Gordok Commons or Dire Maul North, and just jump into the bosses real quick, and then we'll go over the overview and what it used to be, like what you because you
This
were
was the
there's some stuff.
tribute run, right?
This is
Yes.
the tribute run. Yep.
This
Yep.
was actually my favorite of the Dire Maul instances because of
Yeah.
the tribute run. It's something that they still really haven't quite done again.
Yeah, well, it was
but
good
this-
because it was a challenge, and
Yeah, this was the second dungeon that they added into Warcraft for patching, and the cool mechanics with this instance was don't kill the bosses and you get better loot at the end. It's like, what? Why would you not want to kill the bosses?
Yep.
Like it was completely out of the box concept that we have not seen again. We've seen some kind of different kind of encounters like time trial runs and stuff like that that started with Strat. They did
Baron,
back vanilla,
Baron,
the Baron
45
runs.
minute.
Yep.
And then they brought that into Burning Crusade for ZA for the bear runs, and then they brought that back again in Cataclysm. But we really haven't seen anything quite like this tribute run ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Those
cool.
were
It's
the
a really
days.
cool concept. But let's hit these bosses
Really,
real
Andy?
quick, and then we'll talk
I
about
had
like
to.
what it used to do. What used to mean to run Dire Maul, I guess. So first you got the guard Moldar, man. This guy, he's pretty cool.
He's a guard, if you didn't know.
Yeah, very
Is he?
basic boss. However, if you read the dungeon journal on this guy, he is the man. All right, ready?
Yes.
Basically says that he was gifted a pair of enchanted gauntlets, and he's super excited about them because it enabled him to become his people's arm wrestling champion for 6 years running. The problem is, in all actuality, he wasn't gifted them. The king just threw him out, and he found them.
So he trash picked.
He tries a trash
Yep.
picker. Yep. But he is
Yeah.
one beast of an arm wrestler. That is right in the dungeon journal. In case you guys want to go look at it, I'm not making that shit up.
I did not know that.
He yeah. We should be able to arm wrestle him instead of fight him.
I agree.
Spoilers: this entire dungeon is filled with this stuff. Like, Dom, do you want to hit the next guy?
Yeah, you get Stomper Krieg when you first walk into the instance. Like you normally, to avoid fighting that boss, the one that Sophis was just talking about, you take the long way around. You take the right and you follow this path and you kill some plants. And Jasper's whipping his tail all over the place. So, hello Jasper, say goodbye, and now you're gone.
Aww.
So you follow these plants around, and then you get to this sleeping drunk guy over there. So you kind of want to slip by him, but his name is Stomper Krieg. And the Dungeon Journal states that on more than one occasion, assassins have met their doom by accidentally knocking over this guy's beer mug. So this guy, when his beer spills on the ground, as soon as it hits that stone floor, he gets so pissed off and flies into this berserking rage and just beats up anybody that comes nearby.
So he's like a wrecking ball?
He's an angry drunk. He's an angry drunk of a wrecking ball. Yes. Yep. I hate that. Oh man! All right, then what else happens? You go to Guard Fangus. All these guards, they're just the best. They're the best. Another very simple mini boss. He doesn't do anything crazy. I don't even.
He's also a
think-
guard, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Guard Fangus. Fangus. His thing is he was told by Cho Rush the Observer, which is a boss later in this instance, that he was destined to meet his mate while on duty. And since then, he's spent every waking moment patrolling Gordok territory.
Aww.
He's
There's a
just
love
I
story
heard
in
you'll
that.
I heard you'll meet your mate if you play Cookie Clicker for 24
No.
hours.
For like
No,
7
I'm not
days
playing
straight.
Cookie Clicker.
This guy just wants
But-
love,
but-
man.
Just to branch off really quick, since Squishy brought this up, Squirrel on my last 24-hour stream, he donated the most, and he got to pick the next one. I was totally expecting Cookie Clicker out of him. That's the game I expected it. But no. He threw Train Simulator 2014 at me. Right where it all started. Back to the trains. And I have to do that for 24 hours. Is that Indy clapping over there?
No,
That's
I'm not
squishy.
doing that.
Is squishy?
Yeah,
So I believe that is happening on the 26th, if not the weekend of. So, yeah.
Exciting.
More trains.
Not really.
Sucker.
Choo,
Is there multiplayer?
choo, train.
I don't think so. I don't know.
That's sad.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
an actual career mode this time, though.
Oh,
Sweet.
maybe you get some achievements.
Maybe.
Oh man. So then we're gonna head back to Dire Mall with this guy.
Oh,
There's a
okay,
guard.
we're gonna
Is it train?
Keep chugging on and go.
This guy-
Yeah, guard slip kick was
Yeah, he's-
the next one.
Yeah.
And he's not quite as exciting as some of the other guys in here, but he's just really cautious dude. He's very lazy, and he spends his time tinkering with old traps and broken magical toys, and he is hoping to eventually deliver a coup de grace without dropping a single ounce of sweat.
Yes. He basically wants to take over, but he's really lazy. So at some point,
Yeah.
when he
He's
figures it
just
out,
hoping somebody wanders into one of his traps and he doesn't have to do anything.
yeah. Then we get another one that's not really that exciting, and all these bosses, I don't remember anything exciting about them. Like there wasn't like most of the time you just tried to skip them anyways to do the tribute run,
Right.
so they weren't that super exciting. This other guy is basically he's just got a quick temper, and he's known for having his quick temper, especially for people that to insult him or the king. He also has a very, very quick trigger when people bring up his torrid affair with a knoll.
Love.
That is also in the Dungeon Journal.
There's our love story for the day.
This is
Thank
Indy's-
you. Have a nice
With
day.
a knoll, not even a trog, a knoll,
Knoll.
which is kind of worse. Well,
That's why I would be upset if people reminded me daily of my love affair with a knoll.
yeah.
Well, people
That's-
on the daily remind you of your love affair with the Trog.
Yes.
Poor Ogleflint. R.I.P.
Yes.
Ogleflint.
Yes.
What about Lord Overheat? Gotta bring up Lord Overheat again, right?
Yes. All
That-
the
that
love
was
Well, that
stories.
was you. You made the combo. You just asked
combo.
me what the love child.
No,
would
actually,
be.
that was Zista, wasn't it? Because
That's
you weren't
funny, you
there
guys-
that week for Stockades.
Yeah, and I listened to it after the fact, and you were picking on me.
Yeah, we just made it up.
I
From
believe that
within
one
the
was
stuff.
all you, Squishy.
I don't
Um,
think so.
So this guy
We'll go
does
back
have
and look.
something.
So
He
this
does.
this guy has a love affair with a knoll.
Yeah. Well, he
Mhm.
doesn't like to be reminded of it. It was in his younger
No.
college days.
Right,
Yeah.
the crazy.
It's experimental phase.
Yeah. This guy, this guy actually, he's one I remember because he was the one you needed the ogre suit for to get past.
Right.
If you wanted
Yes.
to.
I still have an ogre suit. If they didn't remove it from the game,
No, they're actually still in the game. They just dropped the level requirement on them.
I can't use it. I just because they're consumable.
Yeah.
Well, now if you try to kill him, he has this nasty fear that that groups like to pull him with other groups, and then other groups that they get feared into other groups,
Nice.
and it's so much fun.
Yeah, because all those hyenas are all around over there. So
Right,
like,
and then
you get
there's-
feared, and then you pull like 17 hyenas.
And then he also summons ads, I believe, two really hard hitting guards for that phase, and there's more guards around him, so it's all kinds of. It can quickly turn into a wrecking.
yes.
Ball.
No. No.
So then we have Chorosh the Observer, who he didn't really want to take sides, but the king appointed him as his advisor because he believed that having two heads would be better than one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Basically,
it's
yeah.
true fact.
Yep. Saying that he was
So
more resourceful.
I
than the
remember
average
not
player.
liking to do the tribute runs because this guy dropped the Chorosh blades, which were actually really good for combat rogues back in vanilla, pre-rating gear like molten core and stuff like that, and they were actually slightly better. Two of these were slightly better than the Dalren set, and it it was very, very difficult to get a group that would go in here that did not want to do the tribute run. So
Yeah, yeah. And then you go to King Gordok, who was actually known earlier as what the hell was his name? Like Ulf,
Olrock.
Ulrock. Yeah, Ulrock. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what he did, he's actually kind of smart, to be honest. He basically organized that all the best warriors in the Gordok clan were going to try and overthrow the king at the same time and organize this big brawl. And so then after everyone was done fighting, he came in and killed everyone that was left over and took over. Kind of smart for an ogre.
Yeah, it was known as Day of the Blood.
Day of the Blood. Yep.
Now Jasper decides he wants to play with a ball that's going to make a lot of noise.
And then there's a fun
What
fact.
kind of ball? What kind of ball is he playing with?
I'm just gonna.
I'm sure it's not a.
No. Nope. I'm done. What did you? You were actually talking to us about stuff that you used to go into Dire Mall for. When you were in vanilla, when it was actually current content. Zista.
Yes?
I was talking to you. Do you know? You were telling me about what you guys used to do in vanilla with Dire Mall. Like it was actually fairly important, other than for running through for gear.
Yeah, and we'll probably get to this eventually when we get to Naxxramas as well. Jasper, really?
He went in for Jasper. You
This is
hit
not
it here
Christmas
first.
time. You
That's
don't have
where
to
he
play
got
Jingle
Jasper.
Bells. Anyway, so
You
It's
want to just
almost
go
like a
kick the
cricket.
cat?
yeah, I'm gonna go take that.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
How dare
but-
you?
Yes.
He's having fun.
Yeah. So basically, aside from the tribute runs, I remember doing this as well in my guild in vanilla. There were when you did the tribute run, you were allowed to get buffs, and I don't know if you want to pick up from here, but basically, I was saying that you would get buffs from doing the tribute
Yeah,
run.
for defeating Lotheb in the original Naxxramas, they tuned him so tightly that the intention was that you would do the dungeon for a while and get all gear out of the other wings and then be able to get to Lotheb, who was the DPS check. And using all that gear, you'd be able to take him down. People didn't want to wait to get like gear for 2 months to be able to go in and tackle this guy down. So what they would do is they would go to Dire Mall, and after you defeated the king, you got a bunch of buffs for talking to the different ogres, the different bosses that you left up. Each would give you different buffs and stuff like that. So you go here, you get that, then you fly off to ZG, and you go get the Heart of a Car buff. You go back to Orgrimmar, and you turn in the War Chief's Blessing. You turn in the Head of a Nixior and a Nefarian, and you'd have all these buffs, and then you would go to Naxxramas and specifically just go fight Lotheb. So you would have to clear up to that point, and then go do all this stuff. And it was a big pain. It's a big pain. And you had to go as a group, because if you got ganked on the way there,
Yep.
one person died,
Goodbye, buff.
all your buffs were gone, and that was pretty much the end of that. So you'd have to try again next week. So you basically would go in there, do all your attempts, and then come back. And after you felt like you were secure and you knew the mechanics, you were going to beat them down, then you would do that.
Yep. Yeah. So it's kind of
Oh,
cool that this had other ramifications other than tribute runs. Kitty still wants it. Do any of you guys remember anything that you used to, other than tribute runs, or anything specific about the Dire Mall that you remember of back in the day?
Class-specific quest.
It was really, really large.
It was really large. You could get lost
Yeah.
trying to get in there.
When there wasn't a map that you could press M for and find out where you were, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Well, what was it? I think it was Deadly Boss Mod. Not Deadly Boss Mods. Atlas.
Atlas
took-
was it?
Yeah, they took the mini map and went through and took each one frame by
Yep.
frame or whatever, and they created a map that you would kind of use to try to figure out where you were. But yeah, that was a huge pain in the ass.
It wasn't even like, even if you had it, you were like, where am I?
Yeah,
And then once you found out where you were, it wasn't that bad. But the hardest part was finding out where you were.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Back in the day. The best
Oh,
times.
I'm actually.
You didn't do the voice, Sophist. I'm disappointed.
Back in which one?
Oh yes. No, Sophie does that perfect.
Oh,
He
yeah,
does.
yeah.
Back in my day.
Back in my day. Get off my lawn.
I actually want to go back to Dara Mall right after this, and I want to go arm wrestle that dude.
I know, right? I want to like there
Do
needs to
it.
be a mini game where you can arm wrestle him, and then he puts
They
his
should have
freaking
brought him back to the
gloves
Dark
on.
Moon Fair. That should be a mini game at the Dark Moon Fair. You arm wrestle that dude.
Arm wrestle the guy with his gauntlets.
Did you know they just added in the mini game Diner Dash? Do you know that game by like PopCap or something? Diner
Mhm.
Dash. They basically added that in the game now. I don't know
Really?
if you guys heard. Yeah,
Oh.
it's at the end of the Noodle Cart quest line, and you have to like sit players at desks, and then they want a specific meal. You have to create the meal. You have to serve them to the right customer, and then sometimes they want more. Some people are impatient. Some people take like 3 of them, and and then you get bonus points for like, seating them. It's Diner Dash, and it's kind of awesome.
That sounds
And
like
it's a daily.
annoyingly fun.
Oh
you
man.
like annoyingly fun.
Oh, so now we're talking about this WoW as is today. How have you guys enjoyed the time with Sile?
I don't want to talk about it.
Is it a sore subject?
Actually,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be for Zista because he actually performed pretty well.
My plan was I was totally gonna go in there. I was gonna step foot on the island and leave and be like, "Ha! I didn't die at all, just like I told you guys. Didn't die." But then I was like, I need to get my legendary cloak. So
I need to get
gotta
a
defeat
world
the
boss.
aspects. So I was like, I got to do that. Then I got to go farm these coins and all this stuff. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna throw a throwing weapon at these bosses. I'm gonna run away, and then I got cocky and decided I could stay in for a little bit. And then one of them like just turned around and one shot me for no reason, and everything went downhill from there.
Yeah. So how many times did you end up dying?
Well, before that, what were the guesses? Do you have that paper still?
Oh yeah, that's true. We can go through them. See, I think
So
some of
let's-
us got
let's
screwed
see.
because for a long time you avoided the island, but we'll go.
I
I
we'll go
remember
along with it.
Kiggles. I remember
We've got-
Kiggles.
We got me at 10, Squishy at 13, Row at 4, Kiggles at over 9,000, Squirrel at 6, Sev at 17, Crodex 18, Thade 21, Zist 0, and Goofy at 3.
The winner,
The winner is.
row,
4. Exactly.
exactly 4.
Right on the mark.
All right, so
Wow.
detail all of your deaths, please, for the crowd to hear.
Well, actually, I almost died 6 times, but thanks to Luke T's, he prevented 2 of my deaths.
How dare him?
So if Luke was not there, who would have
Squirrel.
been the winner at 6?
Squirrel would have been the winner at 6, yeah.
Ooh.
Yep, Luke screwed Squirrel over. Bad Luke.
I died once on Chi-Ji, the crane boss.
Mhm.
I died once on, was it the tiger?
Tiger!
The Tiger Boss,
No, it wasn't the tiger.
another world boss.
Yeah, it was another one of the world bosses. 2 were there. Third one, I'm still not completely used to my mouse yet, and I went to Goblin Glide off of the ledge to grab one of the treasure chests. So instead of doing the tightrope walking on the ropes to grab the chest, and I jumped off and hit my rocket boots and just plummeled to my death. And I don't remember the 4th one actually. I think I just died to like some random mob.
Was it a frog that killed you as you were running away?
No, I completely avoided the frogs. I didn't go anywhere near them.
Oh man. So Ro, congratulations. Maybe we should find something for like a prize of some sort. I don't know.
Oh, we
if I have-
already gave him a prize.
We did?
Yeah,
What prize?
Way.
we're gonna be on this week's episode of the Realm Maintenance Podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Got to interview
That
us.
segue.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Realm Maintenance does a weekly podcast. Ro does a weekly podcast called Realm Maintenance, which basically is about all the World of Warcraft podcasts that are out there. And he always has an interview, and we were lucky enough to be able to get on his show, because it's a pretty awesome show. I mean, I really like it. It's really pointed me towards other podcasts, which is cool. And I had a blast doing the interview, so if you guys get a chance to check it out, you should, and keep listening to it. It's the podcast is good, and he also does another one, the
All Things Azeroth.
All Things Azeroth. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll be on Realm Maintenance this Tuesday. There's included in a 15-minute interview in the actual show, and then a few days, I think, into the week, he'll post the full interview up on the website that you could hear the unedited version.
If
Yes.
anything, just
Director's
listen to
cut.
the end when Sophis describes our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I described it.
It's almost as good as Sophist's on episode 3 of our podcast.
Yes.
So,
Yep. So I guess before we move on, we have a thing in here saying we want to talk about flex rating, but since we're talking about the Timeless Isle, I wanted to bring up how quickly you can gear someone now is absolutely insane. I had a paladin that I had leveled to 90 and basically stopped. A couple days ago, I got on and played for like 3 hours on the Timeless Isle. I went from 430 something, 440 item level to 485 in 3 hours, and had basically full epics in a set of gear that I didn't have. I didn't have any healing gear. Now I have full healing gear. So, moral of the story is, if you want to switch classes or try something else, if it's 90, you can go get gear for it. It's not that hard.
No.
not only that, but if you just happen to be an enchanter, you can disenchant all the items after you after you convert them in. And
Oh,
I
yay.
just so happened to get like 6 different leather and or
Yep.
trinket ring combinations, and I walked away with like 30-something crystals.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty epic. It's pretty cool that you can go in there and do that, which is nice.
It's pretty epic. That was a good one.
epic. Yes. So the other thing that happened this week was flex rating was open up for us, which is something completely new. I didn't get to go. I was out for my birthday.
I didn't get to go.
Happy early birthday, by the way, Sophis. It's your
Thank you.
birthday in like an hour and a half.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Oh,
May all your
hooray.
dreams come true.
Yeah, getting old.
Nuh-uh.
But how did you guys enjoy flex rating in the live realms?
I missed it because I had work, but
Yeah.
Sister, you go first.
Well, I got to do 2 different types of flex rating. I went with a more casual group that was just a bunch of friends that we all got together and did, and I had a blast in there. I think we wiped on Immersius twice and then killed him the 3rd time. And the protectors, we almost one-shot, and then one of the tanks died at like one of the mobs was at like 5%. And
It was Luke, wasn't it?
It might have been. No, it wasn't. It was our other tank. Luke was still
So-
up actually.
so it's still a challenge then.
Yeah, no, it's 100% still a challenge. And I actually had a lot of fun in that group. We were joking and laughing, having a good time. It reminded me of back in late Cataclysm when me and Sophis ran the Karaoke Dragon Slayer raid,
Yeah.
where we would just sing and kill bosses the whole
Back
time.
in my
It was
day.
very reminiscent of that. It was a lot of fun. And then just maybe a few hours before the podcast, I got to go with Squishy's group, and I'll let Squishy talk more about that. But my personal feelings on that, while it was just plow through and kill everything, and I didn't have nearly as much fun as I did on the personal level with the other guys, but it was still nice to be able to go through and just demolish the content.
I'm sure it was better than LFR. Is that what you? Is that
No,
like what you're?
no. It was LFR is so much better, dude. I hate flex. Absolutely hate flex rating.
Here's the thing. LFR seems more challenging
Yeah,
if you ran
true.
it with like a group of pre-mades.
It's so true.
LFR seems harder than flex rating if you run it with a group of pre-mades. So like Squishy, his group, they're all like heroic geared out.
No. There was there was a lot of friends in that group too. 10 was mine.
Well, yeah, but there definitely heroic geared people in there, you know, and they're
Yep.
going through, and it's heroic experience raiders that might have been on their alts or stuff like that too. and we just plowed through. We one-shot everything. I think maybe one person died, and that's because they used their dagger. They didn't actually like die to mechanics or anything like
No,
that.
Phil died.
Oh, who does
Phil
that
died.
that I know?
Phil died.
Oh,
Phil
Called out.
from Staten Island.
Phil from
Okay.
Rhode Island.
But at that point, it just seemed like I know I've had harder times running LFR. So like yeah, LFR seemed harder. But yeah,
Well, Wing 1 LFR opens next week. You're all doing it, right?
Right.
no.
No.
Right?
No.
With the introduction to Flex, yeah.
I'm not.
I'm not doing it. I'm not touching
Why
LFR.
not?
There's no reason. I don't want to.
For science.
I go in there and I
For
just want
science?
No.
I don't know.
I go in
All
there
right,
and be
you know
like,
what?
oh,
I'm
my
gonna
life
do flex
sucks.
rating. I mean,
Actually,
I'm gonna do LFR just so we have something to talk about. This next week, I'll be able to compare it to.
yeah,
to
for comparative
ratings.
reasons, I'll do it just to say. And plus,
Me
I
and
haven't
Indy will
done
do it.
anything
You guys
yet.
don't have.
Fine,
to.
I'll do it for science, but I still hate you.
I need strangers to troll.
Oh man.
Remember when we did LFR on the PTR and we hit Berserk on the Mercius with like 50% corruption to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. I don't want to. This is the.
No.
You're gonna make me hate everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's get into this discussion. If we've seen our first Flex, should Flex eventually replace LFR?
Yes.
I mean, I already.
No.
I mean, I already
Because
think
there's going to
so,
be
but
people.
it won't.
There's going to be people who don't want to have that pre-made group requirement.
Yep. I don't think it's.
I'm
that
actually in
hard to
agreement
do
with
it.
Indy on that. As much as I will not be running Flex, like I said, I'll run it this week. Just
You're not
give
running
a
Flex?
quick comparison. No, LFR.
No, Flex is not gonna.
I'll run it
replace
this week to get
normals.
a quick comparison, but if for some reason something comes up and I can't make a Flex raid day that we're doing, and I still want to get my chance at tier gear or something like that, I'm gonna end up running LFR just because I didn't get into a group. But that's probably going to be the only case scenario that I end up in that.
Well, the thing is, there are so many pugs running Flex raids right now that you can pretty much just find a group whenever you want, and it doesn't matter if you leave after the first boss. The group's still fine. Unless you're a tank, then things are different. But if you join a group, kill 2 bosses, then have to go, so be it.
But
It's Flex. The health will adjust.
But here's the question: are all these Flex raid groups coming into fruition because there's no LFR?
Good
It's
question.
something we'll have to wait and see next patch
it could
because
be.
they don't
Yeah.
have another option.
Right.
So
But don't
they're just going in there to see the raid at this point.
Yeah. No,
Next week is when we'll find out for sure.
my whole situation. Like, I'd love to see LFR gone, but that would require them to rethink how they do content. And they can't just like keep everything the way it is and take out LFR because it doesn't work like that. You would need to give those people something else, which I think they would have more fun doing.
What about this?
But-
What about this? What about instead of replacing LFR, you replace normal and take heroic on a separate lockout?
Yeah, I don't like that either.
No.
I don't like that either. That's,
No.
What's the
Normal
point
and
of
heroic
normals?
are fine.
What's the
No,
point of
because-
normals? You run normals one time, basically, as a heroic
As
gear,
a heroic raider.
heroic progression raid.
But that's like 5% of the population.
yeah.
But that's what flex raid
There's
is.
a
now.
lot.
But
There's a
you can't
lot of
eliminate-
10-man normal
Yes.
guilds. Like a lot of 10-man normal guilds. Because
Yes.
there is, you noticed yourself. You noticed how different 10-man was than flex. How much easier it was. Like if you did that, those people would have nothing to do. They would clear
They
flex
would do
and be
flex.
The
Make
only
flex
thi-
a little more challenging. Little bit more challenging.
It's the first wing of Flex. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say anything on it yet. I'm sure the second wing, starting with Galacrast, is going to be very annoying. But if LFO was being removed, I would make the Pug content five group and make 10 or more be the actual raids. Because 5-man content used to previously be the Pug content.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And then 10 plus, you are getting into serious raiding. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what Blizzard thinks.
Yeah.
I think if they make flex rating a little bit more difficult, they could totally bump that up to be a normal raid.
Well, bumped up flex is normal raid right now.
Great, but I mean, make it flexible. Make normal mode content flexible. Any size group. Heroics keep static at 10 and
You
25,
could. The problem is
but
tuning
normal
it at
make
that
it
point.
flexible.
I think the problem is tuning it at that point. At this point, with flex the way it is, they can err on the side of just make it easier, and it's for the casual group. But if you did it with normal, the expectation is that it's a tightly tuned fight. So I think that's the issue with making flex a normal, or normal modes flexible, if that's what you're saying.
I think you mean normal mode's flexible.
Yeah, normal mode's flexible.
You said flexible words normal.
Yeah.
Either way, it
It's
means
the same thing. He
Yeah.
means the same thing, yeah.
I just tried to confuse you, that's all.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'd be interesting to see what Blizzard thinks. I think that there's probably multiple correct answers to this problem, and if it's even a problem. I would just like them to pick a direction and go, and not just have...
I just feel like once they start, I don't know, it just seems to me tuning 4 different difficulty levels at this point is so much work for them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more of a burden than anything.
Yeah.
Creating new content, and that's gonna reflect on the quality of the content that we receive after a while. So that's why I'm more thinking to eliminate one of these. You can't really get rid of LFR.
Oh, you can.
can't.
You can.
Oh,
No.
you most
Watch me.
certainly can.
You can't. You can say that.
Yes,
You can
you
say
can.
that all you want, but you can't.
Yes, you
You
can.
cannot do
That
that.
is a
at this
terrible
point.
argument, sir. You can say that,
No,
but you
not
can't.
for the casual players. You cannot take that away from them.
Yes, you
You
can.
take that away, there's going to be so much
No, you can
repercussions.
take it away.
You're
You
going to
just
lose
give
so
them
many
something
subscribers.
different. You give them something different that's a better experience. You say, "Look, I'm taking this away because it's not a quality product. I don't want you to play shit. I want you to play something that's entertaining."
Yeah.
And you give them something that's very
5-man
good.
heroics. Bring them back to that, and then,
They're not going to get rid of LFR. They're not. I'm telling you, they're not going to do it. It's bringing the casual content to the player. Like that's what they want. They're not going to get rid of that. They're not going to get rid of heroics. So
they're not getting rid of
they're not going
normals.
to get rid of flex. They're very happy with the way that is. So I could see them merging normal and flex. I
They're
can
not.
see that.
That will never happen.
It's
Don't
two
say
different
never,
things.
because Blizzard actually has already been
You were saying never!
You keep saying never. You're like, that's never gonna happen.
Blizzard is
Never say
talking about
never.
merging flex and normal already.
They've also
been
already said that they might
And
get rid of
they've
LFR.
they've also
And
been
they've
saying
already
that there's
stated they're
potential.
not removing LFR.
No, they
No,
haven't.
they haven't.
Yes, they
They've
have.
said there's a potential.
Mm-mm.
It may not be good, but there's a potential.
No, they said that they're very happy where LFR is and they're not removing it.
They've said they're happy, yes. But if anything had to go, it's not normal and heroic. I'll give you that.
No,
I know
because
it's not heroic.
It's not normal, and those are the staples of
There's
their
no
rating.
way
Why
they're
does
changed.
anything have to go?
Yeah, it doesn't have to. Like, they could keep it the way
No,
it
it
is.
doesn't have to, but I'm saying if one of those 4 were to go, they would merge normal and flex.
Why would they change normal and heroic, which have been there since okay, not really the beginning, but since Watlick?
They would have to.
They wouldn't change the fundamentals. That's for sure.
I think they would. They've done it before. They've changed 40-man raids into 25-man.
That's true.
Ugh.
When
But
they
they
feel
don't
it's
have
time
to
to
start
change,
it.
they change it.
That's still the same difficulty level. We're talking about
Yeah, they
4
changed something that was
different difficulties
obviously not
now.
working. At 40-man rating was something that was obviously they needed to change. So that's the
No,
difference.
because that's the whole different thing.
Yeah.
40
they-
man's worked.
No.
People just didn't want to do the work.
No, 40
Mine
mans were-
did.
Yes, yours did. But the majority
I
of
loved
40-man
it.
rating was very, very difficult.
We liked it. We spent 2 hours before raids farming mats, and we loved it.
And running back CG and yeah.
No. Yeah,
I'm
I
so
don't
glad
know.
we have this conversation, by the way.
Going 4 weeks without seeing a piece of loot for your class was awesome.
And fighting everybody for DKP and
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
So good.
Do the
I
voice,
miss those
so.
days. No, I don't even want to. It's just terrible.
All
So
right, let's
I don't
just
know,
agree
before we
that
start,
there's nothing's gonna go.
I can't agree to anything.
I didn't say anything is going to go. I'm saying if they had to remove one. If they had to
What
remove
he's saying
one,
is that LFR is never going, and also never say never.
Do you want to play that song right now, Sophist?
No, if I'm saying the most logical step, if they have to get rid of a difficulty level, is not to remove LFR and not to remove heroic, and it's to merge flex and normal. That's the most logical.
It's
Because
also
normal and
a lot
flex
of
are
work.
very, very closely tuned as it is, and for them to merge those, it just seems like the better change.
That's in your head. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people agree with you. I don't. I just don't. We should move on to some BlizzCon
That was a
stuff.
good segue, by the way. I think we're on
Yeah.
hit and miss segues today.
We are. It's fine. Some work, some don't. I could just dinosaurs. BlizzCon. What's up? Let's do it. So the BlizzCon virtual ticket pre-orders went on sale. Well, yeah, I guess they went on sale. They were pre-orders were available.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at there may be some rewards for each individual Blizzard game. I mean, I would assume
Yeah,
you won't get the
they've
same as
typically
going.
they've always done Warcraft and Starcraft, and then when Diablo 3 launched, they added in the banners. Well, you get a pet in Warcraft usually. They've had a few different other vanity rewards, but more or less it's been pets. Um, Starcraft 2, we get portraits for the avatars and whatnot. Diablo 3, you get the banners for I don't know, when you're in town, players can locate you through town portals. Is that what the
Yep.
banners are for?
It's your banner
You
Yeah.
that
make
you
a
can
banner.
click on to go to someone else.
So now they announced that this BlizzCon we're also going to get a Hearthstone reward, which
Woo!
I
Dun,
pretty much
dun,
called
dun.
already. I kind of figured they were going to incorporate
It
that,
would
but now
be
we have
weird if they
official
didn't.
confirmation.
Yeah, it'd be weird if they didn't.
What do you think? What do you think the rewards could be?
For Hearthstone, I
Yeah,
mean, I would assume some golden common things or something like that. Maybe it could
Can you say that sentence again?
be. No. You know what that also could be? It could be maybe some things that your people can say. You can be like, "I love BlizzCon"
Oh.
instead of "Hello."
I'm at BlizzCon.
I think the most logical is going to be a card of some sort, and whether that's going to be a brand new card or maybe a special gold version or alternate version of an existing card,
could
like
be.
maybe like a Murloc with a BlizzCon border around it instead of a gold border or something like that. And the other possibility, I guess, would be a special Blizzard arena, but I kind of feel gypped in that case because you don't get to select the arena you start in. It's just random. So if they gave you an arena that shows up in your rotation, you're never going to know if it came up in your rotation or if it's because somebody else had BlizzCon.
Right.
So
Yeah.
as
would
much as I'd like to see more
that would be
arenas,
cool.
I don't think that's practical as a reward.
I think the arena would be really cool. They just have to change the way that they work. Like maybe you're allowed to choose what you see, which would be cool. But that would also be, I mean, it would feel like they did all this work on the arenas, and if people had the BlizzCon ones, most of the time they're not gonna change them. But they
Right.
might, or maybe just allow the fact for it to You can choose random, or you can choose a set amount of them or something. I don't know. I mean, that's actually a big thing in paper Magic. People bring their own playmats, and it's just a
Right.
cool thing that you can have to show off. Like if I have a custom art playmat, I got it
Mhm.
at GP Las Vegas and whatever. They actually do a thing every month. They send out special playmats. They have a tournament, a game day tournament, and the winners of the game day tournaments get these playmats, and that's the only way you can get them. You cannot buy them. So like that would be pretty cool to have like an annual or 6-month tournament that they send out that anyone can join. A huge tournament if you place in the whatever.
Right.
You get a special arena or something like that. I don't know.
So what do you
Interesting
guys feel
rewards.
if they gave us an actual card that was exclusive to BlizzCon that you couldn't get any other way than entering this code? Do you think that would be completely unfair? Because I do.
It would be either
Yeah.
unfair or a terrible card.
Even if it was a terrible card, if it like let's say they gave us a Murloc, which
They
typical
wouldn't. They
Blizzard
wouldn't because
pattern,
that's an
it
archetype.
probably would be. But now that card all of a sudden gets all these extra abilities based on other Murlocs that you could have in your
Yeah,
deck.
they wouldn't
and
make it a Murloc. They just
No,
wouldn't.
what they would do is they'd make a platinum angry chicken.
It's most likely
I-
that they give you a special version of a card that already exists. I don't see them
Right.
coming up with a new card.
Right.
Or it would have to be terrible. It'd be like, you have a 0/1 that doesn't do shit. Congratulations. It's from BlizzCon. It would
Yeah,
be a
I
little
don't know,
odd.
because even an alternate version of the card, unless it's tied into like the way the golden commons or the golden versions of cards work in general, is you can only have two of the particular card in your deck as long as it's not legendary. But if you have like a golden Sinister Strike and a normal Sinister Strike, you can't have another golden, so you can't have three. So hopefully, if they do something with the cards like that, it would be tied the same way,
Yeah.
because I could see that getting really unfair quickly.
What if they do
And I'm
alternate
hoping
art
it's not
for
exclusive.
characters?
Well,
I would like
that would
alternate
be
art.
my guess, because that would be most appealing, I think. You
Yeah,
know,
like
because
your mage
going
looks
the
different.
BlizzCon rewards, like mounts and pets, are all about having that unique in-game item to say, hey, look, I was in BlizzCon or I went to eBay, but either way.
Right. And they
What?
definitely wouldn't have a card like that craftable. Somebody's mentioning in chat. Serene says as long as they make them craftable, it would be okay. That would be pointless to make a BlizzCon
Yeah.
exclusive card craftable. That's
Right.
just not something they would do.
So is this first of all, why does your webcam keep zooming in and out randomly?
It's not an auto.
It's trying to autofocus.
Yeah.
Okay, two, I can see them doing something similar to Golden Galbin.
Geblin.
Mechatart. Yeah, because you can get that card in the game, but you can never get it golden unless you buy something in the beta. And I can see them adding some new card in the game, maybe... I'm out of ideas. So, you can add Zista into the game. Dies a lot.
Anyone can
Battle
make
Cry.
Zista, but they can't make a golden Zista.
Right, but they can't make a golden Zista unless you go to you get the BlizzCon thing.
Battlecry dies on play.
Yes. Yes. I would actually like the alternate art for each character, like
I would
you get for
too.
Blizzard this year, you get alternate mage art or something like that, and then next year.
Well,
or
I
for some other
honestly
things you
think
get- would be cool.
I think it would be cool to have your own, regardless of what you play, but
That
it's
might
just
be
the way Hearthstone works. You got to pick
difficult,
one.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's been talk in BlizzCon or Hearthstone for a while now that they're going to allow you to use your custom World of Warcraft character in Hearthstone. So if I'm
Oh,
playing
man,
a
that
rogue,
would
you'd
be
be able to
awesome.
import my rogue. I don't know how the audio, they'd have to fix something like that. They'd have to say rogue because they're not going to be able to pronounce your individual character names. So the
Yeah.
audio
They just
when
say
you say
rogue.
Valera comes in, they're like rogue versus,
Yeah.
I don't know. But even if they don't get that feature in right away, I would like to see some alternate heroes as well. Get
Yeah.
maybe two different rogues that you could choose from, two different mages,
Yeah.
Believe me, I hate coming in and playing as Anduin every time.
I like
Sucks.
the Zista death rattle dies again.
Or Uthrad's got a good one. I get Battle Cry, dies, and then a death rattle that summons a 9/9 Jasper.
That's good. That is good.
Yeah, so yeah, that's basically all. If they somehow make a customizable hero, it can't be just draw or change colors, because then you have penises all over people's characters and stuff.
Yeah.
So they can't go that far. But maybe they
I
can
am
change.
a penis rogue. Look at it. Yeah, that would be just awkward. Yep.
A penis rogue who backstabs you.
Yes. as just his camera zooms in.
I don't know what the hell's going on with it.
Oh, so good.
I just went in and I have autofocus turned off. Look, I'm gonna make it super blurry right now.
Ooh. Interesting. I don't know.
I don't know. Autofocus is turned off, so.
We'll stick with some Hearthstone. Remember a couple weeks ago we actually all had a rant on the coin.
Yes.
And what was fair, what wasn't. Well, there was actually a big blue post about the fairness of the coin, and it turns out the numbers are actually pretty good. With the fact that the win percentage. Oh, we lost Indy.
Whoa!
Oh no. Alright, so we're going to go to here for right now. But it turns out that the win percentages are actually pretty fair. I think it's 5% difference if you go first or second.
Right.
Which is pretty good. As it says in the blue post, chess is 10% if you go first. You have a 10% win advantage. That's odd. Let's see if
The
we can
one
get her back
thing
in here.
that I don't think many people understand is that the coin only allows you the mana advantage for one turn.
Yeah, and
One turn.
yeah. It doesn't
And
actually
other than
give
that,
you a
you get
mana
a small
advantage
card
either.
advantage.
It gives
Sorry?
you. It doesn't even get the way they word it is that it doesn't give you a mana advantage. It just allows you to keep up with mana for one turn. So the one
Right.
turn that your opponent would be able to make like a tempo play that says, here's a big character that you have to deal with, and you don't get to put a creature out. You can keep up with them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's actually pretty fair. They do later on in the post go to say that maybe a few interactions are unfair, and then they are looking into them. And actually, what is the quote? It actually says,
This is
some
my town
yeah,
scrub.
some specific interactions might be a little too strong. This is our town scrub. Yeah. So
Actually,
they
tell me how you
basically-
feel about that combination going against me.
I don't mind it on some characters. On other characters, it's just terrible. But
The last time me and you dueled, which was the other night, you complained. You go, "How do you get this combination every time?"
yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's because when I play my rogue deck, I can never draw Defias Ringleader in my first hand ever.
And not only that, but I draw it with Shadow Step.
Oh yeah, that's true.
oh,
But
So I end up with a 2/3 and 2/2/1s on turn 1.
right. The other thing is they reference master rank, but it's really not that hard to get to master rank.
no, I
because-
don't do much ranked, and I'm just about diamond. So
Right, because in this game you can't go down a rank. So
Yeah.
as long as you keep playing, you're eventually going to get to master rank.
Yep, I will at one day. I'm just gonna sit down and get myself to master and be like, oh, I'm good. I did it. Hooray!
However, those ladders are supposed to reset every week. This is beta, so they're not resetting, but that ladder is supposed to reset every single week. So it'd probably be a little more difficult to hit master rank every week.
Oh yeah, that'll be different, for sure.
Unless you play a lot.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, even if you do play a lot, it's the guarantee you're not going to hit it every single week.
Right.
I think that'll eventually change.
I think really good people might hit it every week. People that play
But
consistently and they're really
Well,
good.
the people with high MMRs will hit it every week. If you get to Grandmaster one week, your MMR is going to be so high when you start off the next week, you're going to probably jump up to Plat Diamond in one game.
Yeah.
Assuming you win it. If you lose, on the other hand, your MMR is going to drop a ton, and then you'll be stuck in the middle of nowhere for a while.
Yep. So I thought that was interesting that it wasn't that much of a difference. Like I thought in my head, it felt like if you go second, man, you were way ahead of the curve. But
Yeah.
maybe that's the decks I like to play. Take advantage of that more than
Right.
some do. Which is also a point that they've made that some decks do tend to take the advantage. Some in Masters actually have a better win percentage than going first. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into all the math there, but I thought it was interesting that they basically said, "Hey guys, look, the numbers are saying something different, so just
Right.
bear
so
with us."
They're saying that they don't mind it being used on Questing Adventure. They don't mind it being used by rogue combos, but certain things might need to be tweaked. And
They didn't specifically say what needed to be tweaked other than Defias Ringleader.
right.
Yeah.
I am assuming they don't like Twilight Drake benefiting out of. Like, if I had to guess, I would guess that Twilight Drake benefiting out. Your camera just zoomed out again.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it.
The Twilight Drake interaction's a little. It's not the worst combo, but what's the other one?
See, the one
Questing Adventurer
they
definitely.
said that they
sucks.
don't mind the Questing Adventure though.
Did they?
The one that I could see being a big problem is Van Cleef.
That and combos in general.
They said they
think.
don't mind the rogue combos though.
I'm pretty sure they didn't say.
They didn't say that. They didn't. They
They
said they
said-
don't. They didn't say they don't mind specific combos. They just said they don't mind the slight advantage. It does say. It does mention people saying rogue combos, questing adventure, and that said. But they also
Right.
don't specifically say what they don't mind. They just said
They said we don't mind this slight advantage for player 2.
yes,
In
but
reference to it's all in that same sentence.
yeah, but I don't read that as that specific.
I think it's linguistics. It's how you read the sentence. So it actually could be taken either way. And we just read them different ways, so we don't actually know what they think.
The specifics. It says we've heard a lot of feedback that the coin does not feel like it should activate rogue combos or trigger questing adventurer. But given that we are in a world where going first is better in almost every case, we don't mind this slight advantage for player 2.
Yeah,
I don't see any other way to interpret that than they don't think that that's unfair.
I think they're talking about generic advantages, like generic combinations that may work. But I don't know. I think you could easily see them changing the way the rogue works. And
regardless, it's beta. And they'll do what they feel needs to be done.
The one that I see the most is Van Cleef, just because you get +2/+2 for every card that you play on that turn. And I love to save cards like that, and including my Shadow Steps, because I could play Van Cleef for 3 mana, Shadow Step him back, play him again for 1, Shadow Step him back, play the coin, play a couple 1 cards, toss Van Cleef out, and he's like a 17/17, and you're like, what? And
that
he has
gets
stealth.
polymorphed?
Yeah. No, he has stealth. You can't polymorph
and then you place a taunt minion, he has to come out to hit the taunt minion, and then you
that's why I assassinate it, clear the board, and sap anything else that's on the board, and just hit him for 17 damage.
Didn't you know Zista can never lose when he plays his rogue deck?
Right. I mean, the 10 times we played that other night against my secret deck, and you won how many times?
Almost
once. Because I conceded. Because I was going to win anyways.
It says almost once.
Almost once.
That's funny. Yeah,
there was one that I almost won. The first time I played my stealth deck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and then there was another time I top decked a Frostbolt.
Yes.
That was close. It was like I have to draw 1 card. It can be any one of my 3 removal spells, and it was one of them.
Yeah.
But
all
right.
So I mean that's pretty interesting to me that they said, "Hey, just calm down a little bit because it's not as overpowered as you guys think." Is basically what this blue post was saying.
Yeah, I felt it was super overpowered going into it, but now that I actually see the numbers and they have statistics with it, I'm not too upset about it anymore.
Yeah. So what else do we got here for today? Oh, we want to talk. You guys want to do a crack-a-pack?
Yeah.
Yes, that was fun.
Let's do a crack-a-pack. All right, let's hop over to this video. What we've been trying to do every week is record opening a pack and just kind of breaking down these cards. So Squishy was so kind to do the crack-a-pack. Let's see what he's got. Common, rare. Oh, that's pretty good. All right, first common. 1 power overwhelming. It's 1 mana for the Warlock. Give a friendly minion +4/+4 till the end of turn. Then it dies horribly.
Reminds me of myself.
Zista.
Squishy, you want to just give us your generic thoughts on this card?
I love this card when it appears late in my deck. If it's in the first hand, I will throw it out because early game is almost useless. But in the late game, obviously they probably won't expect this card for just coming out. And if you have 2 of them in your hand, that's +8/+8. Yep. Now the one thing that you can actually do with this card that not many people know is you can attack with it and then silence the card, and it'll live for the remaining. It'll just stay alive. It'll lose the +4/+4, but it will stay alive.
Yep. Zista, what do you think? Have you played with this card much?
Yeah, I play Warlock quite a bit in the arena. I have a lot of fun with that. Mage is my favorite in the arena, but Warlock is my second, and I love that card. And I have used the same tactic that Squishy just mentioned, which is silencing your own card. I tend to use it on something that has a lot of attack power, not like a taunt card or something. So when I do silence it, I'm not losing any additional benefits from it. But for 1 mana, it's a really good card.
Yeah, I think it's a flash in the pan if you need to get some extra damage in. It can put the pressure on the other player.
Or it could be the finishing. It could be like the surprise finishing hit points for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could use it that way. Or if your card is going to die anyway, let's say you have a card that's at 1 health and they ran out of mana, they have nothing else to attack with, it's going to die next turn, and you need to kill something, but it doesn't quite have enough damage to do it. then you can use that for that reason.
Yeah,
Yeah, it only costs 1. I would
pretty
say it's
flexible
pretty
card.
good to have.
So yeah, it's pretty flexible. It doesn't cost a lot, so you're not going to gimp the rest of your turn. Yeah, I actually like it for a common. I think it's pretty good. So let's see what else you got here. Boop. All right, we got Noble Sacrifice. It's a secret for 1 mana. When an enemy attacks, summon a 2/1 defender as the new target. It's a paladin secret.
I hate secrets, but only because I never get to play them.
I don't actually play Paladin very often, but when I go up against them and they have like a Senjin Shieldmaster that I'm trying to sap, and that secret's up, and I sap it, it counts, and it saps the 2/1 and puts the 2/1 back in their hand, and it really aggravates me to no end.
That's interesting.
How much does that cost? That 2/1? Because I know when you sap the 1/3 Spellbender.
I believe it's only 1 mana. It might be 2, but I'm pretty sure it's only 1.
That's interesting.
Yeah, not bad for 2/1. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. That seems like that shouldn't work that way because it says attacks and not target
Yeah.
with a spell.
But I love that card. It's so good.
When an enemy attacks, technically I'm attacking their minion with a spell.
That's not how that works. In
No, that's not the
But-
That's not the definition of attack in a CCG, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and even in most of the cards in this game don't work that way.
Yeah. It's
Well,
probably
Yeah,
a
you
bug.
don't consider like silencing an attack. You don't consider things like Magic the Gathering where you put enchantments and sorceries out. You're just targeting.
Yeah,
Right.
the targeting is, and actually they use the same wordage in this trading in this game as well for a lot of things.
So
Casting
they
a spell,
probably need to
attacking.
change the wording on it then, because sap
Yeah.
definitely triggers
Or
I don't
they
it.
need
think
to
SAP
fix
should
SAP.
apply.
Yeah, they should
fix
just
sap,
fix SAP.
or or change the wording. Yeah, I think
But
if they
it's a
change the
really
wording-
good.
Go ahead.
It's a good tempo changer for really early game because most early game minions have two health or less. So, that nasty fairy dragon that you can't kill because it's immune to hero powers and spells. You just toss that up and hopefully it attacks.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good secret.
Oh, I didn't think of it. That actually is really good.
Right.
It's not all
You
of
could-
them are really good, but this one's pretty effective for 1 mana.
Right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's another 1 mana.
So if an enemy attacks with that fairy dragon and like say the secret was up, then they can't do anything about it,
No,
Right.
still
It summons the 2/1 and is forced to attack.
and it's dead.
Yep.
All right, what do we got next? We got Venture Co. Mercenary. Okay, so this one,
I know Sobs
5 mana.
and I have talked a lot.
yeah, 5 mana. Your minions cost 3 more. It's a 7/6 for 5 mana, and it's for all classes. My thoughts about this: in constructed, not that good. In the arena, I have won games completely on the back of this card.
Oh yeah.
Because
this
for five,
guy carries.
for 5 mana, a 7/6 that's a lot of power that you're getting out of 5 mana. Yes, you're not allowed to play creatures much. However, if you play your cards right, you can still cast spells, deal with things, and they can't deal with a 7/6 on turn 5, especially
Right.
if you went first. So, really
I don't know,
good
if
at
you went
5 mana.
second and you use a coin to bring that thing out, you're getting the thing out on turn 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Really good, I think.
Right.
Undervalued.
And then in arena, I was gonna say in arena where you don't have guaranteed CC, you don't have guaranteed removal. It's a great card. Like that thing carries games. If I see that thing and there's like, I will almost always take that thing.
Yeah. Now, will you take more than one?
It would really depend on the deck.
I don't think I would. Simply because if you have one out, the next one is going to cost 8 mana.
Yeah. Well,
And if one dies, does that?
it reverts the mana cost.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's great. If best case scenario for me is I play it out there, they have to use a bunch of removal to try and get rid of it, or attack it with multiple creatures, and then I've basically wiped their board or taken out their prime removal, and now I can go back to casting, like what, or the best
Yeah.
case they can't deal with it, but the other scenario is that they basically use a bunch of resources to get rid of this, and then now I'm back to being able to play my cards at a normal. at a normal cost.
Well, if you have 2 out, does it stack? Do all your minions now cost 6
I
more?
think so.
I believe so. Yeah.
That would be terrible.
Yeah. All right. What do we got here? Our first rare. Rare. All right. 3 mana cost rogue card, 3 attack, 3 health. SI 7 agent. It does combo, deal 2 damage.
I love this card.
Yeah. Go ahead. What do you like about it?
It's just for 3 mana you're getting a 3/3, which is pretty ordinary. But the combo deal 2 damage as long as you play a card before it. So on turn 4 for a rogue, you can play Sinister Strike, which 1 mana, and then you could toss this out, or even play it with a coin, and you're gonna deal an additional 2 damage that you could deal anywhere.
Yep.
So it's even for 3 mana as a 3/3, it's a good card, but it's even better with that combo.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I agree. It's really good value. 3 mana for a 3/3 is good. But adding that combo makes it really good. And considering a lot of
Oh, yeah.
rogue cards are 1 or 0 mana cost, I think it's
Yes.
pretty impressive. Yep. I like it. I'm a
Yep.
big fan. Big fan of that card. It's not like OP, I don't think, but it's still really good. It's just a solid card.
Right.
All right. Last rare. Golden rare. All right. It's a warrior card. 2 mana, armor smith, 1 attack, 4 health. Whenever a friendly minion takes damage, gain 1 armor. I don't know. I don't play a really good warrior deck right now, so I don't have much that I can say about this aside from the fact that I'm not sure its value. I don't know. It doesn't seem that good to me, but I haven't played it much.
It's actually not that bad. For a 1/4, if you can, obviously you won't play it alone because that'd be pretty useless. But if you use it right before a trade, or you use it right before a whirlwind, which hits your minions as well, like you can get a lot of value out of that just from your health pool. And then in addition, you can shield bash right after. I think it's shield bash, which deals your armor value as damage to a minion.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good.
So you trade, you whirlwind everything, you get 5+ armor plus your hero power, and then you can just shield bash something that like a 7/7.
Yeah. I think the only issue I have with cards kind of like this is you're living in magical Christmas land, like I like to call it. Best case scenario, I have these 4 cards in my hand, and it's awesome. But 90% of the time, I don't think
Right.
you do.
It's
So I think
actually-
it's probably an okay card, but I don't think it's in my head. But like I said, I haven't played it that often, so I don't have a first-hand experience with it.
It would also be good to use in conjunction with a taunt card. So they're going to continually hit this other minion where this can't be hit. And it more or less seems like another additional taunt card to me, because I could easily see if you have a couple low cost taunt cards in your hand and you're playing these out just to keep this thing intact, so it's giving you 1 armor. I can see a mage wasting a polymorph on that, or a shaman wasting a hex just because they're getting overwhelmed with the amount of armor you're putting up.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it does work well with the warrior. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably.
I personally
okay.
wouldn't pick it, but yeah, I could see the potential for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Indy, play the warrior.
I couldn't. I tried once to play a warrior deck. I'm not a huge fan of like any kind of weapon use. I like playing the priest and the mage, honestly. So no, I mean, and I'm listening to what you guys are saying, and yeah, it's situational. And when Squishy was kind of lining up the combo for this card, but see, I'm a sucker for decks like that.
It's even not in combo, it's still pretty good.
Well, I would think so,
you
because
get
your
some
armor
good
is
effective
like
health out of it.
your armor is like essentially hit points, right?
Right.
Because I got to bash through those before I can get to you, so I would play it.
Yeah.
Because you can't go into which sucks, because I used to play a deck in Magic the Gathering where I would just rack up so much life you couldn't kill me before I killed you, but You can't do that in this game. You can't go into the positive. Like, you can't rack up a surplus of hit points.
See, here's my problem with cards like this is they're very situational. You need to have certain things out like that. And I tend not to play them unless I'm in that perfect circumstance. So then this card is just sitting in my hand, and then it could be like turn 6, and I probably should have played it 4 turns ago.
Yeah.
And
You got to
it's
decide, though. You got to decide if it's worth it to wait or,
right, and then it's too late at that point to go back and be like, I should have just played it. And then you're stuck with this card, and then you play it, and then it dies because you have no other cards to play at that point, and it's worthless.
Oh.
Yeah. All in all, pretty good pack though. Like it's a pretty good
Yep.
pack. Like most cards in that were value. So
I would have
liked it.
disenchanted it.
What, the golden? Yeah, I'm gonna disenchant it.
Yeah,
I need to make some other stuff.
more dust.
Yeah. Speaking of
disenchant anything.
priest
Yes.
and warrior, they need some help, I think.
yeah. Well, I see the potential in warrior.
Okay, let's start with warrior. What do you think they could do to warrior to make them better?
They need a better mid game. Right now, warriors like if you can get to the end game, they're really hard to kill.
Right.
But their mid game,
is where they usually
yeah,
fall
anything
flat.
can kill them in mid game. They fall flat there. Their early game is okay, but I don't know. I cheesed out when I need to do my quests for a warrior. I play a charge deck. It's like all my cards are charged, and I just hope I beat you in like turn 4 because
If I don't win by turn 6, concede.
yeah, exactly. Like I cheesed out. I was like, I don't know how to build this. This doesn't like. There's no power in the mid game. There's no like engine for that thing to get to the end game.
I've actually had people in the arena concede somewhere around like turn 4, turn 5, and I'm just like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm here. I am going in like I have maybe 2 health. The guy has like 90 minions on the board, and I know I'm gonna die. I will not concede just
Yeah.
in case that guy DCs. Like I won't do it. I'll stall the game as long as I can, hoping he DCs.
Yeah.
That is an asshole move. The thing I do, and a lot of people other do, or a lot of other people do, is when I know I lost, I concede just to save both our time.
Yeah. That's pretty,
And I think it's
that's common practice. I
uh,
think in most
right.
most card games like that.
Right.
Now there are people that go against it. They just say, I'll play it out, and if you because there's always a potential for you to screw up. So I could see both sides. And it does happen sometimes. More so.
I had someone down to 1 hit point. I had someone down to their last hit point, and they got me next turn.
Yep.
I've
with
won
some-
them.
I'm not
Like-
talking about
That
that,
too.
but when you know you're gonna lose.
Yeah, squishy
Yeah.
means
That's
like
me too. I'm sitting at 1 health. They had 3 minions on the board. They could have killed me. They chose to concede, or not concede, but they chose to end turn, and then they emoted thank you to me. And they had like, I think 12 health or something like that. And I was on my mage deck, and I cast Pyroblast, which I top decked, and then like I don't remember what it was. It's a charge minion I had for 3 mana or 2 mana, and boom, the guy died, and he was so mad. I can only imagine.
Yeah, but let's face it, that doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
And
But the guy was trying to be cocky, and it bit him in the face.
So
It
he
was
could
that
he did
charged
he had already
Murloc, I
attacked you?
He could have killed me. He could have killed me, and he
Oh,
chose.
what a dick!
He typed "thank you," and he gave me like 1 more turn to like, haha, you can't
Oh.
beat me anyway.
Well,
and
then
then I
good for you.
pyroblasted and Murloc charged him, and he
I mean,
died.
that's
Yeah.
just silly in this game because there's so many ways in this game that you can deal like 20 damage in 1 turn.
Right.
With the right cards.
Yes.
Well, I had 1 card in my hand, and I top decked Pyroblast. I couldn't have won otherwise, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just common practice to just say,
A lot of people do just concede,
Yeah.
especially in like ranked or something like that. But
Yeah.
I could see in arena more likely I'm likely to not concede
right.
because
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
what I'm
little
talking
crazy.
about. Specifically, it was Arena.
But a constructed, it's like, oh, well, I'll just go on to the next game now. Not looking
Yeah,
good.
constructed. If I know I'm losing, like around turn 5, 6, 7, sometimes I'll just concede right away just to get it over with. But that's what I'm saying. Arena, I will never ever concede.
All right, so I think we're about done with the Hearthstones. We covered kind of a lot more than we even had in our show notes, so that's good. We're gonna kind of end with a Diablo 3, a little bit of Diablo 3 data mining. Uh, so Zista had pointed out that there was some kind of spoilers from data mining. So I guess if you guys care about that, maybe this would be a good time to just turn your ears off. But there's not much.
There's a button for that. You can just turn your ears off.
I can, yeah.
Hmm.
Yep,
Yeah,
I am.
You just go like this.
Oh,
But the first thing is not so bad. They found basically that there might be clans or guilds in Diablo, the expansion pack in Diablo 3. Which
not clans or guilds. Clans and
oh
guilds.
well, there you go. Which to me is
There's
awesome.
two separate strings. So I'm kind of curious what the difference would be between a clan and a guild.
Yeah.
To me, they're the same thing.
Clans are a group of guilds, if I had to guess.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, and maybe
Or
just,
guild is a group of clans, but I think clans as a group of guilds is better.
Well, keep in mind all these strings are also they're beta, obviously early pre-beta. They're like alpha at this point.
Yeah, it could
But
be as simple as
there's
they don't know what they want to call them, and so they have
Right.
both in there.
Yeah.
Well, there's a string in here that says request guild invite disabled starter edition. Clan feature is unavailable in starter edition. So I'm kind of curious what that means. Does that mean that unless you have the next expansion, that you're not going to be able to join a clan? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Seems
what I could
cool.
see maybe is here's my thinking. Like I said, a clan is is a group of guilds, and maybe the clan you have kind of like a guild bank type thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a guild doesn't. Maybe a guild is just chat with your friends, see who's on, that kind of thing, and then a clan is like your more traditional WoW guild where you guys can share resources and things.
Right.
And then if you don't have the expansion or something, you can't join a clan, so that eliminates gold farmers and all that.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe there's PvP coming. I don't know. Unless they ever decided they're
Gasp.
not actually doing it. It could actually be there's the difference between them as far as PvP. I don't know. I'm not going to go there because they haven't had PvP yet, so we'll wait until they announce that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the big one. The other one, the spoilery one would be that I'm blanking on her name.
Adria.
Yeah, there it is.
Adria.
Go ahead. You actually found it, so.
There's a string in there that says X1 expansion 1 underscore Adria underscore encounter underscore name. Boss Adria. And then there's another string for defeat Adria. So if those of you that are unfamiliar with Adria, she was the witch in Tristram in Diablo 1. And I believe you actually go back to her hut in Diablo 3. But I thought she was dead. Apparently she's not. Maybe she is, and she's back
Onyxia.
through
Boss
her
Onyxia.
demon.
The Onyxia encounter, yeah.
Maybe she's back as a demon or something now. I don't know, but just the fact that we're gonna go back and fight this girl this witch from Diablo 1, I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see a recurring name that might actually be a boss. Aside from that, nothing too. I mean, they've added a couple things, some updates since we looked at this list, but I haven't had a chance to go over them. I don't know if there's anything too crazy.
It's just a few little things here. They're talking more about the challenges, the different game modes. There's a list of at least 100 different item passives and stuff that are on rings and axes and stuff like that. It's way too much to mention individually.
Yeah.
There's a whole string of all the Paragon bonuses, all the new ones that are being added. There's
cool.
probably about 25 of those, 25 to 30. There's a lot of the artisan backstories and stuff like that. The more stuff in the lore journals, a lot of new quest objectives and stuff like that. Stuff about the enchanting, the different level areas, and a bunch of graphics and character models and stuff that have been released. And you could actually find all this information out, since we're not going to mention it here. You can go on diablofans.com and check all that out.
Yep.
Okay. So with this information, does that mean we're going to see a beta soon?
They said beta was going to be this year.
I would imagine.
So
Maybe around.
I think we're gonna get. I think that's gonna typically what they do with the annual pass or not annual pass, the digital pass for BlizzCon, is they give you access to a beta as well, and I could totally see that being either this
Yeah.
or the next Warcraft one or both. Who knows?
Yeah, be cool. I hope it's coming out soon. It'll give me something more fun stuff to do in Diablo. I don't know. I've been enjoying Diablo. I'm not playing it a ton, but it's a good time sink. I think it's fun to just jump in there, kill a few things, do some infernal key run stuff, and get out.
Speaking of which, we have a ton that we need to do.
Yeah, we need to get in there and do them. All right. Well, I think that actually does it for us this week. We were far under the 2-hour mark too, so good job, team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
This show was
not 3 hours long.
this show wasn't a wrecking ball.
It's true. So, Dom.
Thing totally DQ'd. I had it all good to go. I hit play and it just reset back at the beginning of the song.
Ruined.
You lucked out, Sophist. You lucked out.
You don't want to overtake our outro music. So where can
Yes,
the
he
people,
does.
where can the internet folk find you, Zista?
Find me right here at Zista with an underscore at the end on Twitter.
At
Zista
Justin
on
Bieber,
Facebook,
actually.
Dead Zista on YouTube, and twitch.tv/Zista. You can tune in tomorrow at this time, just about this time, and I'll be doing Grand Theft Auto 5 24-hour marathon.
Squishy, you and your new poster. Where can the people find you at?
I know. At Squishy, as you can see down there. Pretty simple. Lots of World of Warcraft and Hearthstone.
Yep. And some guides, dude. The guides.
And the guides.
All right, Indy, are you here?
Yes, I am. It's pretty easy. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at IndieGorona. Same name in both places.
Yep. As for me, it's twitter.com/TheRealSophist or Twitch TV/TheRealSophist. As for all of us, you can go to thehxe.com and find all these videos. We have them there. As Zista said, on Twitter at DeadZista, Twitter at YouTube at DeadZista. Check out Realm Maintenance on Tuesday for our interview, 15 minutes, and then the full interview to follow on his website. That's it. We're done. We'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Wrecking ball. Wrecking ball. Wrecking ball. Wrecking ball.
Boom. He's done. What's wrong with my hair? It's pretty.